The following is a production of Phoenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to City Talk with About Town Deb. I just got to say, I love our theme song, and I want to thank Dee James for that. He is a great writer, composer, amazing friend. So you can go to ddjames.com, and we do have a full song. We just have to get it. Whatever you do to make it happen, we haven't got to that yet. And I also want to thank our sponsors, because without our sponsors, we wouldn't be here with you today, and we're so happy to be here. So I want to thank Kim Surratt with Surratt Law and Practice and Kirk Allura with Gratis Gives. And also, I want to give a shout out to Grandma B. I always make sure she gets a hello with Aunt Glenda. We have a busy show today, so I want to be sure to get that out because family is important. So I want to be sure to get that out. We also want to give a shout out to my little heart back here that you could see. Well, this is Sienna. She has a big heart. But both my set decorations are from Neil Cahill with Half Cast. So thank you, Neil. He just randomly just did this and gave it to me. And how cool is that to have that done? And then the hearts, he made all these hearts and we donated them to the Children's Cancer Foundation. So I love surrounding myself with amazing people. And speaking of amazing people, if you look on screen or if you're listening, you're going to hear her beautiful voice. We have Shyla Morris, one of the halves. There's usually Kay and Shy. I'm used to saying Kay and Shy. And it's hard for me to not say Kay and Shy. So Kay is in spirit with us. She might be on a plane right now. I'm not sure. But Shy Morris, amazing entrepreneur, woman, friend, mom, sister, daughter, aunt, all that kind of stuff, entrepreneur, coach. I could go on and on. Community ambassador. She's loves her team at Squeeze In. Their families have all of the Squeeze Ins in our area, plus a few more. And they are amazing. And I'm going to ask when I have her to chat more about that. They just have come off a year, and I've been. If you follow her, and you need to follow Kay and Shy, not just on their Squeeze In, they have another amazing page, the Mentorship Quest. But they've quested for a whole year, and their team at Squeeze In has really, they did a lot for the community. It was a rough year with a lot of businesses. So before I get to that, Sienna, right here. So this is Sienna Lee. She is amazing UNR student, intern, and she is working on our partnerships with our community and learning a lot. And by the way, she wants me to be a meteorologist. So look forward to a weather report at some time in the show. But she's really interested in the topic that we're going to have today. And we're going to be joined by, he's hopefully going to be on soon. You know how the internet is with all of this. Joseph McClendon III. And I don't want to get this wrong. He's a doctor in neuropsychology. So I'm going to go to Shy now. And Shy, welcome to City Talk. We're so happy that you're here. So I would love you to say a little bit about yourself and how you met Joseph McClendon III. But before we get to him, also tell us, like I say, how you met him and how this year has been. So got all that done.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. And thank you, Deb, for having me on today. I know I'm only one half of the duo, so it's a little bit strange and different, but I'm very excited to be joining you here today and to bring Joseph here in a little bit up for everyone to meet him. As Debbie mentioned, my sister and I are the co-owners of the Squeeze In restaurant, which if you've never been, what are you doing? Come visit us. But we are a breakfast and lunch restaurant chain here in Northern Nevada, Northern California. And we also have 2 locations in Southern Nevada. But the original location, many of you are probably familiar with, is in Truckee, California. It's been there for 46 years. Our family purchased it 18 years ago. At that point, it was just one location, and now we are at 11 locations across 4 states. But as you heard, it's been a year. As you can imagine, being in the service industry, being a restaurant owner has been incredibly difficult and been a wild ride the last 12 months. And we have some crazy stories, but we made it. We kind of just posted on Instagram recently that we made it. Like, we had our first weekend where we're at 50% capacity, where we were finally able to seat in Truckee again. And we are so grateful to see the restaurant business returning. But as Debbie mentioned there at the top, Kay and I have had a really exciting opportunity and partnership form for us, which has been just so amazing, almost a dream come true. We're pretty obsessed with the personal growth and development industry. And so we found ourselves at a Tony Robbins conference back in 2016 called Unleash the Power Within. And of course, you go to a Tony Robbins event and you're there for Tony, but on day 2, someone else comes out and delivers the entire day of training. And his name is Joseph McClendon III. He is a neuropsychologist. He had a practice in Southern California for years and years. He taught at UCLA. He is the right-hand man and lead trainer for the Robbins Research. Tony Robbins organization has been for about 30 years, spoken live to about 5 million people. He's written a best-selling book called The Unlimited Power of Black Choice, as well as a bunch of other books. He's appeared on The Doctors and in Oprah Magazine and Success Magazine, and has been a coach to celebrities, Olympic athletes, Academy Award winners, even royalty. He is a high performance coach and specialist and is amazing. And we are helping him bring forward his neuroencoding methodology to the world. So can't wait for you guys all to meet him.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and we come back. We are going to be blessed and grateful to have Joseph with us. So stay tuned. City Talk with About Town Deb. We'll be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to Gratis Gives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to Gratis Gives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting Gratis Gives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Phoenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I'm About Town Deb. I have Shyla Morris here with me. So happy to have her with me. And I forgot to mention, the last few years, I have really learned so much from both Kay and Shy. And their mom, I've known even before that. So I'm very, very honored. And I'm so excited to have Sienna Lee with me. How cool is it when you can have your interns with you who want to learn about this topic? Said, hey, can I come and be on the show? So Sienna, I'm so excited that she is. And our guest of honor has arrived. We have Joseph McClendon III. And I have been stalking you on Instagram, just so you know. And I cannot say enough about you. I'm excited to learn about the brain revolution. I'm excited to learn about neuroencoding and the germination of self, all this kind of stuff. One of my things was they'll find out. I was asking you about gardening. And I was thinking, oh, his hobby's gardening and music. That's cool. And he has 2 dogs. And then when I started watching your Instagram, like, I get it. But I'll let you share that. So for right now, since we have Shyla with us, and this is one of your dear friends, I would love you to do the introduction for us because it only seems fit because we're honored that you brought him to us.
Oh my gosh. Well, it is absolutely an honor. If you were on with us before the commercial break, you heard a little bit of a preview of how amazing this human is. But just to share a little bit about Joseph, he has a doctorate in neuropsychology. He's one of the most sought after ultimate performance specialists in the world, having worked with executives from Fortune 100 companies, Olympic athletes, Academy Award winners, and all kinds of really high level individuals, including royalty. He speaks around the world. He's spoken to over 5 million people live alongside primarily his business partner and dear lifelong friend of Tony Robbins, whom some of you may have heard of. But he has an incredible methodology, an amazing energy, a wonderful personality, a career that speaks for itself. And Joseph, it has been such an honor to get to know you and work with you. And I'm so glad and excited to get to share you with our hometown community.
Well, thank you so much. And
Can you breathe?
Yeah. It's going to take me a while to get outside my door. I've got to deflate my head from all of that. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for having me on your show. This is really cool. I love the whole hometown feel and the warmth of all of that stuff as well. And as you said, you've been following me on Instagram, so you know I'm all about home and all about nature and all that stuff. So thank you for picking up on that with regard to the germination of the mind and all that, because that's something that I'm really passionate about now.
Well, I can totally tell that, but I think that when you say brain revolution and you say neuroencoding, it sounds like, what is all of this? And when you first hear about mental illness, we were talking about that earlier before we started, it's such a scary negative, and it doesn't even give the the folks a chance who are suffering from that, because right away people are like, whoa. But when you switch the wordings and you can teach us to learn how to respect them and how to be educated, how we can help them and how we can help ourselves. And I had no idea, after reading all of your bios and everything, that, you know, feeling anxious and phobias, all of that is all incorporated into all of this. So I'm really anxious to hear kind of how you've been doing this so many years. How did you get started with the brain revolution and the whole encoding process?
Well, I honestly, I first started because I needed help myself, you know, and I always say anybody that pursues a career in psychology and they say, well, I'm just doing it to help other people or to make money. They're in it because they need to help themselves. You know, and I had some pretty challenging things happen in my life, and as we all have, because it's all relevant. We've all had things happen in our lives that have programmed us to be the way that we are right now. And there's not a one person on the planet that doesn't wish that they could do something better or should do something better, or doesn't have, you know, anywhere from self-doubt all the way to imposter syndrome to the worst case phobias or mild fears. We all have that. But what you said is so true. To be able to explain it in a way that everybody understands it and it doesn't leave anybody out is really important. Because when people think about mental health, or people think about people that have challenges and things like that, it's kind of like there's the, you know, not me, no, and I don't want to deal with that kind of thing. But I'm here to tell you everybody has mental health challenges. Mental health just means that, you know, we're not functioning at our absolute best. We don't have the highest opinion of ourselves. We have doubt, we have uncertainty, we procrastinate, we hesitate, we got fear, faith, all of those things going on. And what I say is what we're looking for is mental wealth. And what that means is that, yeah, we all have something great about us. It's in our DNA. It's proven, and it's in our DNA. And so when we talk about the brain revolution, we're not talking about a revolt and we're going against something. We're talking about revolving revolution. It's a revolution coming back to that mind that you were born with, that says that I'm amazing, that I deserve the best, that I can do the best. You know, if you were on Instagram, you saw I put it up just a few days ago. That's learning to tie their shoe, or learning to walk or talk and go, they'll never get it. They're stupid. They're mentally damaged. You always look at a child and you go, they will do it, because that child knows that all I got to do is keep on going, and they got all the faith in themselves. It's unstoppable. And so the whole neuroencoding, the whole brain revolution, the whole brain wealth is to show us all how to come back to that way of thinking, so that it becomes our default. So then we go after something, we step up and go after it. Long answer to your question.
Great answer. It's a great answer. But so you had, when you had mentioned, or I had mentioned, we were talking about, we all have doubts and we all have something. At what point, like, what could you tell somebody, they're listening out there and they're saying, you know what, I didn't want to answer the phone. I had phobias of the phone. I have all kinds of stuff. But there's somebody out there who could be saying right now, I'm afraid. Some people have a hard time just going outside. Simple as that. Or some people are afraid of standing up in public. There's all kinds of different ones. So if you think you have a fear or a phobia, what would be the first thing you would tell them? Who would they contact? How do they know if it's a phobia or if it's just a passing thing? Is it just a one-time thing?
Well, the first thing I would say is, for everybody that has that type of thought, freaking relax. You're not alone. You're not alone. And everybody has some sort of, you know, from one end of the spectrum to a mild discomfort all the way to paralyzing fear. Everybody's got something like that. And the great part about it is that that's what we do with neuroencoding, is there's methodology. I'm going to share something with you here in a second of just a simple way of looking at how the brain works and how we can step in and encode it. When I say encode, it's just another word for program it so that it defaults to a better way of thinking, so that your best self. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. And I use this example all the time. If you got a fear of dogs and you come into my office, take a guess what's going to be in my office.
A dog.
Now, in traditional therapy, traditional psychology, that's not what they taught us. They taught us, you come in, lay down on my couch, and we'll talk about, what happened to you in your childhood and all of these things. We'll go through that stuff. And I'm not throwing that stuff under the bus because it works. It just takes a long time. And it is laborious, if you will. But the reason there's going to be a dog in there is so that I can see and you can experience the very thing that is bothering you, so that you run towards your fear, so that it shows up. And then in that moment, I'm going to do something. It's called interrupting your pattern. This is just one little piece of the whole neuroencoding process. And as Shy was saying, we have the whole methodology is set up so anybody can learn it. Whether you're a coach, a mentor, or a teacher, or you want it for yourself, anybody can learn. I made it so freaking simple, everybody can do it. But I'm going to give you this example. So when a person sees the dog, they're in their worst possible state, right? So in that moment, what I do is I interrupt the pattern. And what that means is people try to change something without doing anything about the existing thought process that they're in or psychology that they're in. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna jack it up in the moment so that we can tear it apart and that we can put something in very, very quickly. Now, I'll give you the example. It's called a pattern interrupt. It's one of the tools that you'll learn. And that is this. Have you ever done something like this? You're sitting in your house and you're sitting on the couch and you go, I got to go get an ink pen because you want to write something down. I got to go get an ink pen and a pad and paper out of the kitchen or something. And you stand up and you go into the kitchen and there you are standing in the middle of the kitchen going,
what am I doing?
What am I in here for? Okay.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, that's an example of a pattern interrupt. Now stay with me. Watch this. When you're sitting on the couch, you're urgent, you're thinking, you're focused on, you're saying it to yourself, you're imagining, and you're feeling the urgency of ink pen, right? But as soon as you stand up, as soon as you move, 4 things happen. One thing is you're no longer thinking about the ink pen. You're no longer looking at it, you're no longer saying it, and you're no longer feeling it. Second thing is you create something that's called a scotoma. A scotoma is just a blank spot. And a blank spot is like a vacuum. And that vacuum is just like nature always wants to fill up a vacuum. So now it's a vacuum in your brain. That's why you're going, what, right. And that's your perfect opportunity to put whatever you want in. So if you got a fear of dogs and you come into my place, you're going to see the dog, you're going to freak out, and then I'm going to interrupt your pattern. I had one of those horns, the air horn, or I'd throw a glass of water on them. And in the moment, they're no longer thinking about the dog. They're going, what the hell did you do that for? They're looking at me. And in that moment, through a process called anchoring, I can install a better feeling, one that is calm and one that is certain.
Well, you know what? I'm going to do that to you because it's break. So we're going to interrupt you, but don't go away because it is City talking about Meltdown Deb, the amazing dog. Hang tight. Don't go. Meltdown Deb.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to Gratis Gives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to Gratis Gives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting Gratis Gives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Phoenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
Whew, wow, welcome back. I hope we didn't get too sidetracked because I already forgot what I was doing. But there's no way I could ever forget Shy and Joseph. I'm telling you, your energy is endless and abounding. And we are on break. We just couldn't stop talking about how amazing you are and how grateful and honored we are to have you here. So we're going to let you go back and finish. And then Sienna, you got me all frazzled. See, she does have a question for you as well. And I think it's important that our young adults coming from the university, because they have a lot that's been going on. So let's finish where we're at with you, and then we'll continue.
Well, I'll just wrap it up. But first off, thank you. And I'll just wrap it up by saying this, that mental health, mental wealth, meaning you're looking to create that wealth of let's just say positivity, that wealth of love, that wealth of appreciation for oneself. And that's what helps us go further, faster. And the methodology in doing that is much simpler than most people think. Most people don't even know that it's there. Most people don't know that the things that they do. Remember, well, as you were saying, you're looking at me on Instagram, that I have this process called germinating. And germinating is just a way of speeding up the process. By the way, I just put it up here just before we got here now. If you were on there this morning.
I was.
This morning I planted, I germinated the seeds for 6 days. And then I planted them this morning, and they're already coming up out of the ground. If you look, they're already coming up out of the ground. And so for those of you that don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I have a greenhouse and I go to that. But my point in all that, I think life is a big metaphor. And that is the same the way that our brain is. Wherever you are, for somebody that's suffering from depression, or somebody that's suffering from a big fear, or somebody that's just procrastinating and hesitating and self-doubt, or any of that stuff that's going on, you can change that, and you can change it rather quickly. And it's much simpler than we've been led to believe. That process I was talking about is just kind of scratching the surface.
Okay, so on the topic of mental health, I know everyone has been struggling with it, with everything going on. But I want to hear some of your tactics or recommendations that you use or that you would tell people to use when it comes to improving mental health.
Yeah. And again, I'd rather say, let's change the conversation from mental health to mental wealth. And what I mean by that is because when people think, there's a stigma that goes along with mental health, and that is that people think there's something wrong. And so the whole concept, when I say one of the first things that we do with anybody is ask them what they want, to look where you want to go. And where you want to go is what's called mental wealth. mental wealth. And so think about that. So when you think about that, I'm going to have everybody do something. If you're listening to me right now, I want you to understand, here's how we function as human beings. And this, to answer your question, here's something that everybody can do every single time, anytime you're feeling uncertain or anything that's going on doubtful. Watch this. Remember, it's always like this. As I think, so I feel. And as I feel, so I do. And as I do, so I have. That's the way we work. Think, feel, do, have. But you can enter anywhere in there. And so our bodies are directly connected to our bodies are connected to this loop that makes us do what we do. Not to make it too simple, but watch this. To prove that your body will determine what happens to your brain. Watch this. Everybody put a frown on your face. Put a big frown on your face, a scowl on your face. Furrow your eyebrows, turn your eyes down, just and notice what happens to your body. Now keep that frown on your face. And what I want you to do is everybody take a deep breath. Okay, with the frown on your face. Try it again and keep the frown on your face, okay? Keep the frown on your face and take a deep breath, okay? Not you. Now watch this, okay? So now you're already doing it. Now everybody else, put a smile on your face, a big smile on your face. And now take a deep breath. Now, how many of you notice how much more air you get with a smile on your face? Yeah. Pretty much everybody. Your face, check this out. I mean, everything I do is science, by the way. Your face has 80 different muscles on. It's the largest concentration of muscles on your entire body. And it's designed to send signals to your brain and to your body to make you function better. You need oxygen to feel better. So when you smile, you're actually getting 30%. And for some people, 50% more air, which means you got more oxygen, which means your brain's going to work better. So to answer your question, when anybody is feeling unresourceful, guess what? Stop, raise your eyebrows, put a smile on your face, and take a deep breath. And go like this. This is going to seem silly, but watch. Go like this. Go, aha! Now, as simple as that is, what it's doing is it's making your brain release something called dopamine, which says, feel better. And guess what? You do that enough times, and the unresourcefulness starts to fade away. And that's just a simple thing that you can do.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. So Shy, I know you're listening and you know him. Is there something, I have more questions, but is there something that you would like to share that's really important, that's meant a lot to you, that you've learned?
Oh my gosh. Well, I absolutely love that exercise. And it's one of literally hundreds that Joseph teaches in his methods and in his teaching. So I would encourage everyone to follow him on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter at I am Joseph McClendon. You can follow along. He shares so much for free. Being part of his behind the scenes team, sometimes we're like, stop sharing it all for free. But he just wants to add value. And we love and adore that about him. But it truly is, it's simple, but it's behavioral patterns that we can do that code our brain, neurological pathways that get encoded into our brain that make us default to the person that we want to be, so that no matter what happens, your default is, aha, right? It's silly, but that's what it is. So it's amazing. And it's been such an honor to be on this side of helping kind of cultivate and bring together all of this information so that we can bring forward his neuroencoding certification to the world, which of course launches in that big Brain Revolution Summit coming up on April 10th that we're so very excited about. But if you enjoyed that, that is just one tiny sliver of what there is. And as Joseph mentioned, there is tons of neuroscience backing up everything. So it's not like I tried smiling and breathing deep and it worked well. It's like studies and Harvard research and Stanford studies that have brought together and then shown in practices through behavioral research that this stuff works. So it's science-backed, heart-centered philosophy that you got to be a part of.
Well, I love that it's heart-centered, because that's a big deal, because I have my campaign Together We're One Heart, and I believe that we all are the same, and our heart really does lead us. We have to follow our gut and our instincts. But I also, as you've been talking, and as I've been doing my research, you were talking about like breaking the little patterns. Do you have like a habit for success? Is there something that what's some habits that we could use daily to help us succeed and help us feel good about ourselves?
Yeah, those are called rituals. And the answer is yeah, rituals. And rituals are just simple or simply a set of activities that you are committed to doing every day, all of the time. Not some of the time, not most of the time, but all of the time. And I'm going to give you my morning ritual that I love to give to people. And Shy, I feel you, but I can't stop. You know, she's absolutely right. I'm just, you know, I've had great mentors in my life, and they shared a piece of their heart with me, and that's just how I roll. So sorry, Shy, they're going to get it. Okay. I will say this in the morning, like what you do in the morning sets up your whole day. It sets up your whole day. Now, remember what I said, your body, your mind. Remember, we all hear this, the mind, body, spirit connection. Okay. That's all great. But again, I like to make a little twist on it so that we understand it. Think of it as mind, spirit, meaning how you feel, your spirit of yourself, and then body, because your mind tells you how you feel, and then you do something. Okay. So here's a really simple exercise for everybody to do every morning, and it sets up your day. First off, start your day the night before. Get a big glass of water and set it on your nightstand. Okay.
I do that.
Okay. So when the alarm goes off or when it's time to wake up in the morning, just drink the glass of water. That's it. And remember, I'm all about simplicity, because three things happen. Number one, water conducts electricity, and we run on electricity, so you're going to feel better within just a matter of a second. You feel better. You're going to start to wake up. Secondly, your brain is going to start to come alive because it needs water right away. It needs water in the very beginning, and water, remember, it has oxygen in it, all those things. The third thing that happens, you got to get your butt up out of bed here in just in a matter of minutes because you got to pee. And so, but before you do, the second thing that I do is I sit up, and guess what? I put a big smile on my face, and I just stretch to reach my toes. It's going to take a few minutes. And then while I'm doing that, I have a gratefulness exercise that I go through, and I just think of everything that I'm grateful for. And it's, you know, sometimes it's the same things and sometimes it's new stuff. But while I'm doing it, I got the smile on my face, because remember, it's dopamine release. You want to get that stuff going right away. And then guess what? You're up, and that's a ritual that I do every single day. That's just one of them. Not some days, not most of the days, every day. And what happens is, as Shy was saying, that becomes your default. You know, I sleep maybe 4.5, 5 hours a night, and have for 30 years. And I wake up energized. I'm this way most of the time, 90% of the time, with a lot of energy. And so, and I accredit to something like I was just saying. That's just one of them, but there's lots of different rituals.
Okay, well, since we got through one, and I do half of that, so I'm very excited about that. We're going to take another break. So if you're watching at phoenixmedia.us or on our Facebook page, remember, you can watch the replay. It's going to be on YouTube, websites, all over the place. We will be right back before you know it. Hang tight.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes.
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Phoenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of today's City Talk. I am going to start us off with the weather report in Reno, Nevada. It is a beautiful sunny day. The high is 63 and we have a low of 32. And it is mostly sunny and the wind is 7 miles per hour. So enjoy your day outside.
Are we just, can I cry now?
What are you crying about, young lady?
I'm having tears. I get so proud. I love when I just love when we get to watch our friends, our mentors, and people we're mentoring shine. And I feel like, Kay and Shy have done that for me many, many times, and so has many other people. So when I found out that she wanted to be a meteorologist, I said, well, every show, I want you on now, and you need to give a weather report. And so she she wanted to make sure she was going to be here today. Yep, you're here today. So I just think it's important for us to always continue to help foster the growth, just like the germination of our seeds and our minds. It's all kind of hand in hand. And she also had one other thing she was listening, we were saying, and what do you now have?
I wanted to mention that I did recently buy a gratitude journal. Nice. Yes, there's a quote for every week, and every day you write 3 things that you're thankful for. And the more I started writing in it, I realized it's the little things that I'm thankful for. And I just wanted to add that to what you were saying about how you write things that you're grateful for. You think about things that you're grateful for every morning.
That is spectacular. Congratulations. And you ain't seen nothing yet, because you're literally encoding your brain. You're teaching your brain. You're making what's called neural associations. Your brain is actually growing, and that becomes your default, so that you become more optimistic in this world of pessimism. That becomes your default. And that's what, to me, like you said, we, all of us need to take an active part in what I say, participating in our own rescue, so that we can help other people as well. We can be the shining examples for other people as well.
I'm speechless listening to you. And that doesn't happen very often. Well, it used to happen often, but so we were talking about habits and all the other kind of stuff. So if you were to think today, like every day, like you wake up and you're grateful, what would be the most single important goal for you today? I'm asking both of you, Shy as well. Like, what's your single most important goal today?
I'll tell you, I'll let Shy go first, and then I'm going to tell everybody what theirs could, should, would be.
Oh man, I wanted you to give the answer, because whatever you say is going to be the big neuropsychology answer that's the right answer. I think the single most important goal for me each day is to create an internal experience that I enjoy. So finding ways to find gratitude, finding ways to accept what happens good and bad in life, and that spiritual connection of being able to rely on yourself. So I for me right now, the answer is focusing on that internal experience and making sure I can be proud of the person I am when I go to bed at night.
I love it.
Spectacular. And I would have expected nothing less. And that's so spot on. By the way, there's no wrong answer to this. There's no wrong answer. Here's mine. I'm like Mr. Simplicity, by the way. Here's what my goal is every day, is to create as much joy and happiness within myself and for as many people as I possibly can. That's it. Because then it's simple, it's easy. Everything else is a bonus. But if I'm searching for what makes me happy and makes other people happy, and happiness, is that feeling and things like that, then guess what? Then everything else around is going to be flavored with that. My activities, my behaviors, my health, all of that stuff. So happiness is my goal every day.
Sienna, what about you? She doesn't know she was going to be asked this.
I would say being motivated.
Nice.
I wake up every morning just ready to get school done, or I don't know. Honestly, I would maybe say happiness too, because I try to get school done, go to the gym, hang out with friends. I try to do everything that brings me internal happiness. So yeah, happiness.
Beautiful. I didn't say this before, but I know what everybody wants. I know, and when I say it, you won't be able to deny it. Everybody listening here, here's what you want. Now stay with me on this, because some of you are going to get twisted as soon as I say the word. Here's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be wealthy. End of story. But watch this. Wait. Wealthy means healthy, happy, and financially abundant. Now, is that true?
Very true.
Absolutely. And by the way, you can remove the financial if you want. That's just an extra added thing. But everybody wants to be abundant, meaning lifestyle and all that stuff as well. We want to be healthy, because one without the others that's not a fulfilled life. And that's what we all want. That's not necessarily a happy life. So that's what we're all after.
I love that. Yeah. So our last segment goes by so fast, and we're not done, but because we know that, can you give your contact information? I know we're going to post it. I know you've got your books and your speaker, all that kind of stuff. What's the best way to connect with you so we can feel amazing about ourselves?
Yeah, the best thing, and Shy said it earlier, and that is to join me, and you do it. Join me on Instagram. Yeah. I'll give you some other things as well. Instagram is I am Joseph McClendon, and if you go there now, and I give stuff away. And if you go there now and you click on my profile, the link below my profile, you'll see something called the Brain Revolution. And it's coming up on the 10th. It's absolutely free. It's myself and my amazing business partner, Dr. Daniel Amen. He's the world-renowned specialist on brain scans. And he's the hardware, I'm the software. And if you go there that day, we're going to do it's going to be just an amazing download. You're going to learn some amazing things on there as well. So you can go there, and I'm on there every day, as well as my Facebook is my name at Facebook, Joseph McClendon, and or josephmcclendon.com. This Joseph McClendon guy gets around a lot.
I know. No, I love it.
I was just going to pop in and say we're so excited about the Brain Revolution and being partnered with Dr. Amen. If you look at what Joseph just talked about, this idea of wealthy being happy and healthy, and we'll just leave out the financially abundant part right now. Healthy is that physical piece, and happy is that kind of programming piece, that internal experience that we were talking about. And that's what's so amazing about this Brain Revolution Summit that's coming up, is that addressing both of those. Dr. Amen is the lead leading neuropsychiatrist in our country. He led the NFL brain scan study. He's done over 175,000 brain scans. He's written 24 New York Times bestsellers. He's done 12 PBS specials. He's a well-credentialed doctor who has this passion to help people understand that back in 1864, when Lincoln got diagnosed with depression, is the same way we are diagnosing people today. We are not looking at the organ that is affected, which is the brain. Somebody says, my arm hurts, it feels like it's broken. You don't say, let's talk on the couch and talk about your childhood trauma. We're going to take an x-ray and put your arm in a cast. With our brain, if we've got a chemical imbalance or a neural pathway imbalance or some kind of something that's off, we're not going to function. And then it doesn't matter what kind of programming you put in that, it's not going to work. So that healthy and happy piece coming together for the first time in this way that we can shift the narrative when we talk about mental health, shift the narrative so that it can be about brain health, about mental wealth, about these ideas that we don't want to have stigma anymore. We want to treat things the right way, intelligently, and then program that sucker so that it works for us and we can be that true definition of wealthy.
Okay, well, you know what? We are at the 2-minute mark, and I want to get my thank yous in because I also want to have time to read something I got off your Instagram that's very important to me, to all of us. So, but before I want to end with that. So before I go there, thank you both. I don't know where I'd be without you, Shy, and Kay. And now I feel like I have a new bestie. So thank you for that. Our show will now, starting next week, you'll be watching it on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. And we have lots going on. So just check the Facebook page because this is way more important. So this is what I got off your page. Somewhere beneath the thoughts of worry, concern, doubt, and uncertainty, there has always lived a beautiful voice that believes that you are powerful beyond measure, and you deserve the absolute best. Find that voice, amplify it, smile, and listen to it every day. I have finally found my voice, and one day you'll hear my story, or Kay and Shy will tell you, I literally did not have a voice for a long time, and I have been blessed to have found my voice, and smiling is what I love to do, and people are what I love to love. So I feel like I'm on a path, but it's nice to have somebody like you and like Kay and Shy and Tony Robbins, all those kind of people that will mentor us and help us see the good and help us spread the good. And is there any last minute you want to say before we go? You have less than a minute because I want to hear your voice last.
Yeah, last thing I want to say. First off, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity because you're helping me do what I committed to doing years ago. Somebody helped me years ago, and I committed to helping as many people as I possibly can. So thank you, and thank you for the gift of your time. Last thing I'll say to everybody is this, that life is exactly what you dare to make it. And favors the bold. I'm out.
Okay, we're out. We love you. We'll see you next week. It's City Talk with Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. Tune in next week. Yeah.